All right, we are 15 seconds past the bottom of the hour. We're starting our broadcast.
Yeah.
All right.
Should I go get the Bibble?
I was going to read a screen. No, you're sitting down. We'll do that next time.
Okay.
So, welcome to Bread Pill Weekly, episode number 1. And Bread Pill Weekly, episode number 1. I'm your host, G. Ross, co-host.
Angular Beast or whatever.
Yep. And we think... Yeah?
Angular. That's my host name.
Just Angular?
Just Angular.
We thank our subscribers. This is episode 1, January 7, 2022. Every Friday, 5:30 at Central Time. That's Texas time. Call-ins will be at 5:50, and we'll stop the show at 6, but we'll, of course, go in overtime if need be. Any guests or callers do not necessarily reflect any of our opinions. Me a year ago or me a year from now do not necessarily reflect my opinions now, or our opinions. There's a call-in for the Discord channel printed at the bottom of the screen.
You made that invisible. You gotta bring it back.
Yeah, you can see. Well, oh, right. Let's. Switching screens is elusive. There we go. Let's see if you can see it now. There's the call-in Discord. And we will launch things off with our scripture of the day. Do you want to read it or do you want me to co-host Angular?
You can read it.
All right. Daniel 12. At that time shall arise Michael, the great prince, who has charge of your people. There shall be a time of trouble, such as never been since there was a nation till that time. But at that time your people shall be delivered, everyone whose name shall be found written in the book. And many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And those who are wise shall shine like the brightness of the sky above, and those who turn many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. That's our scripture of the week. Brief comment on that. You can see clearly a sword that cuts both ways, sheep and goat, wheat and chaff. You can also see that it's a guarantee of what's to come. This is Daniel being delivered, being told about the distant future after he already knows there's going to be a delivery of his people after 70 years of captivity in Babylon. And we'll leave it at that for now.
Babylon.
So I thought I would bring our first news story of the day. I'm not going to play this because I'm a brand new YouTuber who doesn't want to get copyright strike. These links will be in the description. Should already be if I did this right. But this is just a quick hit and hat tip to Revolver News that kind of put this on my radar. This is quick clips of Ray Epps on the day, a year and a day ago, the day of the, let's call it...
The storming, the thunderstorm ing of the Capitol by T-Rump supporters.
Nice. So, why would you want to see about Ray Epps? If you know who Ray Epps is, you've probably already seen this compilation. If you don't know who Ray Epps is...
Check him out.
Ask a friend. He gets called Fed by the bystanders nearby. I'm not saying he's a Fed. That's what they were like. Oh, you seem like a Fed. You seem clowny. So anyway, that was my opening bit. I'll turn it over to co-host Angular. What is your topic for this week?
The crisis in Ukraine going on as we speak.
What is that?
Can you do your story first?
I did my story. That was this one.
Oh, what?
That's my story.
Is that quick?
Yeah, just a quick hit. You can take as long as you want. I got like
okay.
18 of these.
So, the crisis in Ukraine, obviously, is happening as we speak. Putin has lined up many troops across the Russo-Ukrainian border. And a couple of years ago, in 2016, I think it was, the Crimea, the crisis in Crimea happened when Russia actually invaded Crimea and still occupies it to this day. Oh, well, at least as of the recording and streaming of this.
As of now.
As of now. As of January 7th.
Fair.
So back then, NATO wasn't really interested in protecting Ukraine, just sanctioning Russia again. It seems like a full-blown invasion and war with Ukraine, like the Cold War done again, this time gone like hot, is definitely a possibility.
Okay.
And so, another thing is that Ukraine is not a very peaceful position.
Not in a peaceful position?
It's not in a peaceful position.
Fair.
It is surrounded by at least failing democracies, probably a bit closer to totalitarian dictatorships. Totalitarian dictatorships. At least Belarus is closer to a totalitarian dictatorship. So yeah.
Okay.
Not in a very defensible position. Neither Ukraine nor Belarus are in NATO, but it seems like NATO is more likely to intervene this time rather than the Chernobyl crisis. Do you want me to go on?
Well, so I was busy poking around a bunch of screens and kind of listening. I'm hearing you saying that there's saber rattling, hotness, tension,
Very tense.
world stage, could go hot.
Definitely could go hot.
Right. How long has that been going on that it could go hot? Like, how long has it been at this intensity level?
This intensity, really, it's been intense since like around 2016 or something when the crisis of Crimea happened. Can you look up when Crimea happened?
Yeah, but let me ask this. How long am I allowed to have alert fatigue around that? Like, do I need to run around going, oh, this could explode and be hot? Like, or like...
You don't know.
I'm not saying, I'm just curious.
If you want to, maybe.
All right, what do you want me to look about Crimea?
When did the crisis of Crimea happen? Or when did Russia invade Crimea?
Crimea. Didn't we look that up yesterday? 2014.
No. 2014.
So 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
All right. Well,
Crimea. It's still occupied by Russia.
Okay.
And there's no doubting that Putin has tried to turn Russia into a dictatorship. He's blocked internet websites. He's banned free speech and freedom of the press. At least to the sources that say he's done that.
Well, what's right? So bring some sauce. But let me ask you this: I'm a little skeptical that Putin is always 100% horribly bad.
He might not always be that, but the thing is, I don't know if this is for sure for every like Russian man, woman, and child, but at least to what I've seen, as long as there will not be another Napoleon or Hitler, then Russian people will mind having a dictator. As long as, Putin has promised Russian strength and Russian expanding, so the Russian people, I guess, are probably okay with that.
So a bit of a strongman theory, I would call it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as bad as, like, Cuba, China, or North Korea, but it is a failing democracy. Based on I think it's the UN ratings on each country's democracy level, Russia's a failing democracy.
Right on. Well, I have no more follow-up questions. Anything you want to add? We're at about halfway between the news roundup. I was going to move on unless you have anything else to add.
I don't have anything else to add.
Okay, cool. My next story, and I'm not going to play it because, again, I don't want to start getting all kind of copyright strikes, but I thought you might enjoy Steven Voiceover Channel's footage from the Capitol insurrection 1-year anniversary reenactment day. Very hard to explain the joke. It's pretty funny. The link is in the description. Do you want to read the next one, or do you want me to? You don't know what it is.
So the royal guard trampled a child.
Wait, what? Oh,
on patrol.
Okay, that's your story?
Yeah.
You didn't give me a link.
Huh?
You didn't send me a link. That's okay.
Yeah.
But I don't have a link.
I mean, it's really just some guy caught it on camera. I don't know how to access that footage.
That's okay.
But they trampled a child. Like,
That's
he was
sad.
It is sad.
Was that this week? Or recently?
Recently. I saw something about it recently. Don't know if it's true, but it's probably something the Royal Guard would do.
You're talking about in England?
Yeah, in England.
Wow. Okay.
They were on patrol. Just trampled that poor child.
On accident?
They just kept walking like it was nothing. I don't know if if it was accident or purpose.
Odd. All right.
Yeah.
Well, our news roundup continues for the week.
I mean, the child didn't get any serious injuries or whatever.
I literally saw that as dead child this whole telling. My bad. Good. Hooray, the child lived.
I don't think he died.
So, okay.
He looked okay.
Okay, fair enough. All right, that's good. That's a good news story. Let me mention my next. I'm not going to this. I just found out about this. I'm not saying pro or con, and I'm hoping that we develop an audience of people that may have reactions one way or the other when they see this list of people. But just wanted to share who's advertised as going to this thing tomorrow or speaking right now at this thing tomorrow. You can kind of see what.
Which thing is it?
It's called, that's a good question. The Renewal, a spiritual solution to America in crisis. I don't know some of these. I know who that is. I think I've seen his face. We know who that is. Pillow Guy. Ben Carson. Louis Gohmert. Anyway, do you have another news story?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh. So, you know how everybody blames, North Korea, China, everything, all the dictatorship states, for, feeding propaganda and something? So, school, I'm, of course, in middle school, So, the school system is the reason why we're not allowed to bring our own devices is because on our own devices, we have full access to the internet web.
Right.
We can completely access anything we want through Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, anything.
Yep.
The school has blocked a bunch of websites, flash game websites, blocked. Anything with the word unblocked in it, blocked. I guess the only reason I could see doing that is some of them are qualified as mature. But the thing is, it goes deeper.
Okay.
The ILA teachers are known for telling people to stay off websites like Wikipedia or just don't Google things, I guess. And it's like that. It's literally just like that.
Well, speaking as a parent, and maybe as your parent, I'm like, I don't want you to have absolute unfettered internet access at age 11 in a state-controlled building, just to let you know.
But, they like my ILA teacher has said a lot of times, like, just like back in the safety of like Mac and Via and Britannica and stuff like that. So they censor media, they block things, stuff like that. Just like, Kim Jong-un,
Yeah.
Adolf Hitler. I can go on and on and on.
Right.
It's basically like totalitarian dictatorships, I think I got it right that time, are known for doing this thing where they censor internet media.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Right. Okay. Let me go to my next. In 1963, the communist goals at the time were entered into the congressional record by somebody read them in. And there's a neat little link in the description if you are curious. I gotta confess, I didn't go read them, but I listened to a video where somebody read some of them. And, it's kind of interesting to sort of look at the year 2022 and see how far along they may or may not have gotten on their goals. Link in the description.
So, I think we all may know about this at this point. The Australian concentration camps.
Interesting. Tell me more.
You're the one who literally told me
Oh,
about this stuff.
okay. I've heard of it. I didn't bring any sauce or anything to this. It's I haven't really talked about it much in a couple weeks.
Well, testing negative or positive gives you like a somewhat % chance. I haven't gone to Australia ever in my entire life, but judging on what I've heard from this man, the Australians, I actually don't know. It seems like they could keep you in that camp for like half your life.
I think it was like 2 weeks or a week or 45 days or something like that. I forget.
Oh,
Could they keep you longer? Yeah, absolutely. Have countries ever done something like that? Absolutely.
Nazi Germany. What?
Awesome. Good news story.
I was just clearing my throat.
It's fine. My next is just a little headline from The Hill. This was yesterday. Democrats quietly explore barring Trump from office over January 6th. Raskin, Nadler, I guess Wasserman Schultz. That's an odd name to see there. I didn't know she was still in Congress. Is this year? Yeah, I almost felt like I brought up a last year article. Anyway, not a value judgment, just pointing out that this is in The Hill. Link in the description. Okay.
Well, really quick, I'd actually like to ask a question.
Please.
How fast do you think we're going to get kicked off of YouTube?
If you ask questions like that, so the bots will get triggered, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Let's check our show notes. My next one. Is that your article, or do you want to read one?
I mean, I have another one. You can go again.
Oh, yeah, you go. Tell me.
No, right, you can go.
Trump has kind of mentioned, I think February 21 is now the new target. Of course, he'll schedule a press conference and cancel it day before or day of. You never really know with this guy, but that's where we're at.
Like that OneCoin person, they were showed to speak out Lisbon. They just never got there. Like, never showed up ever again. No one's ever seen her since.
Who is this?
Someone, I forgot their name. They invented this thing called OneCoin.
Oh, OneCoin.
Excellent scam.
All right, there's our timer for callers. Let me just check and see if we have any. We don't. Callers are invited to call during the whole show, and at 5:50, we'll switch over to callers. Since there's no callers, we'll do 10 more minutes of news. Back to what you were saying, Anderson.
I
Or
forgot what
angular.
Angular.
Docs.
Didn't hear anything. Didn't
I'm
hear anything.
doxing my peeps. Well, it'll happen.
Yeah. So anyway,
Okay.
this celebrity invented OneCoin. People went nuts over that. They invested, like mortgaged homes, things like that.
Okay.
And OneCoin became super good at just being there. You can purchase or do anything with OneCoin. You just had it. And you couldn't convert it back to normal money.
Right.
And so right as everybody found that out, she was supposed to speak in Lisbon, Portugal. She never arrived.
Creepy. Now, couldn't I give you a OneCoin and you give me gold? That would convert it, right? If we agreed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mostly. I mean, who would trade a bunch of gold for this now just worthless currency?
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as it stopped growing, it dropped.
Understood. Pump and dump sounds like to me. We'll get our friend Mr. Freecoiner, has a channel on YouTube, to explain that to us. We'll have to see if we can talk to him about some cross promos, since clearly we get a little bit into altcoin.
What? What's altcoin?
You just were talking about OneCoin. That's an altcoin, right? Is it a form of altcoin?
It's a
Yeah, crypto.
cryptocurrency.
Yeah. All right. Next news story. You'll need to get ready for the new verbiage. We no longer say fully vaccinated. We say up to date. Okay? So you can get your 1, your 2, your booster. Used to call that fully vaccinated. Now you're going to call that up to date. Okay?
Well, it was 6 syllables. Now it's just 3.
Yeah, right. We're saving
Great
some
improvement.
syllables. And also, I want to let everyone know chocolate rations were increased today. Link in the description. All right. My next one. Do you have one?
I'm trying to remember there was something I had. You can keep going.
Did you see the mystery rocket that was floating over the skies like for an hour or 2 or 3 the other day?
No,
All right.
No.
So I learned about this website, Into.io, and I didn't save a link to the object, but there was an object called IPM3 Percy, and it eventually landed. But for some hours, it was orbiting or floating around or doing whatever and freaking people out.
what did it look like?
I don't know.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. I heard about this right after. I mean, I heard about it during everyone was talking about it, and I was like, oh, I hope it doesn't kill us. Let's see if I can find it. 3 Percy. It was this right here. So it was this bad boy right here was causing all the ruckus. So let me update that link for later in the show notes. Whoops. All right. Do you have another news story? Because I got one. 7 more minutes in the show.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
You can take one.
I went and downloaded from I forget where. Basically, the Sixth Circuit, maybe not fully coming in Biden's favor, perhaps, on the federal contractor mandate of the you-know-what. Here's a link to the thing so you can read it yourself. It'll be in the description. Do you want to run through the next one here? Oh, I have to
Add.
get rid of the ad. Oh, this is just a great song. Look for Nefx Grateful. It says copyright free. I'm not going to play it here because I don't really
Trust copyright freeze.
Well, I just don't want to get striked. I don't know how that works. Somebody tipped me off to the properties of Nigella sativa or black cumin seed oil. So I'd share that. We've also got BBC. Oh, all right. If you were gonna, let me take you back to Magic Johnson. Guy gets a disease and gets magically cured, and it may or may not have to do with the rest of his name. And he's named that. Okay. Cosmic joke, right? Dude who has an exemption for the jab, and his name is pronounced Novak Djokovic. I'm saying you can't make this stuff up. We may be watching a show. That's all I'm saying. I'm sure he's very real. Here's another story. This transcript was... So speaking of congressional record, apparently Troy Nels read in the transcript for Joe Rogan podcast episode 1757. Thought that was an interesting public service, perhaps. Got 3 more minutes-ish.
Yep.
Read a few more news stories. I don't have a call-in user. Can you go check and see where our planted call-in user is and why they may not be calling us?
You mean...
Go, please. Go get
Who do you mean?
Who do you think we might have planted as a call-in user?
Yes.
All right, we've got our planted call-in user that we had to trigger because this is episode 1 and we
need a call-in.
Launched. Yep. Anyway,
Please join.
Hopefully that'll happen before the thingamabob. Let's go back to show notes. All right, you may have heard of the Fauci Freudian slip. Not going to pick on somebody for Freudian slip, except for I am a little. I'm not going to play it because I'll probably get struck, but...
Struck by the copy monster.
But that'll be your link in the description.
I have one.
Yeah, go.
So, does anybody notice, the demonetization type stuff? Oh, hello.
All right, let's unmute our call-in user. Can our call-in user?
Muted.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, great.
Hello.
Cool. Here, let's pause the music during the call. All right, so you're our first ever caller and our first ever episode, and we have another 60 seconds left on the show, so take it away.
Stock double speed.
I don't really have a question, but I would say I've enjoyed your show a lot, and I love all the stuff that you guys are pushing out.
Ah, nice. Thanks.
Thank you.
How was the audio on the show?
It was great.
Ah, good.
Nice.
There's a good level between your voices and the background music.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
That was Angular that came up with the, come on, find something real quick, because I was at the last minute going. So anyway, I forgot to set a timer, but in these last 20 seconds, now that you mention it, let me call or hang on if you want, but let me quickly do some housekeeping. Where's my housekeeping that I have to rehearse better? Every week at 5:30, right here, this channel, thumbs up. Oh, it's hard not to say this the way my Favorite Mike would say thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And we'll be back.
It's free. You can always unsubscribe.
All right. So now we're going into overtime, and see you next week. Caller, thanks a bunch.
Thank you
very much.
Yeah, we'll let you go, and I think we'll wind it down. Link in the description. All right, good night, everybody.
Wait, did we have the link to our Discord up at all?
Yeah, I did a lot. You'll see it on the replay if you study it and find
Okay.
and critique what we did. All right, good night.